You think you know what cannabis is? Thoughtful. A plant. A medicine. A chill companion for long nights and short thoughts. Serious. But here's the real truth, and it's one most people never hear. Emphatic. Cannabis isn't a substance, it's a technology. An ancient bio-spiritual tool designed not for escape, but for revelation. Warning! And if you use it casually, recreationally, without reverence or readiness, you're not using it at all, it's using you. Because what grows from the earth can also pull you back into it. Long pause. Long before dispensaries, long before bongs, edibles, and YouTube tutorials on the perfect high, cannabis was a sacred tool, guarded, not given. Prescribed not for the sick body, but the sick soul. Handled not by stoners, but by seekers. Narrative. In ancient India, the ascetics known as sadhus didn't smoke weed to get high. They inhaled it in silence after days of fasting, meditation, chanting, and death rituals. They offered it to Shiva, the destroyer, not of life, but of illusion, because they understood cannabis doesn't create anything new. It just peels away everything that isn't real. Shiva's blessing wasn't peace. Intense. It was annihilation of ego, of distraction, of the self you pretend to be. Disappointed, and you want to roll that into a blunt and pass it around at a party? Narrative. In ancient Taoist alchemy, cannabis was brewed into complex elixirs, not to feel good, but to transcend form, to unhook consciousness from the body and travel beyond the veil. Monks would mix it with ginseng and reishi, not Red Bull and Doritos, questioning why, because they knew this plant could either awaken the soul or scatter it into delusion. Narrative. In Sufi mysticism, hashish was used in sacred zikr ceremonies, rhythmic, hypnotic recitations of the divine names. Participants would chant, move in circles, and smoke only at the peak of ecstasy, not for pleasure, but for ego death, for disappearance into divine presence. Short pause, but even among them it was controversial. Rumi warned, solemn, there is a wine that numbs and a wine that awakens. Choose carefully, because cannabis is both, the plant doesn't decide. Emphatic, your intention does. Sykes, but in the modern world, intention is gone. We've turned the sacrament into snack. We've stripped cannabis of its ritual, its reverence, its risk. Now it's content, a meme, a brand. Thoughtful. We inhale casually, scroll endlessly, and wonder why we feel so scattered. Serious. Because when you smoke, the filters break down, the masks come off, the inner walls you spent a lifetime building dissolve. And behind them, the parts of you you've hidden, buried, denied. In Jungian psychology, this is called the shadow. The grief you never faced, the guilt you never voiced, the shame you tried to decorate with fake confidence. Cannabis doesn't generate these things, it amplifies them. And in a culture obsessed with pleasure, ease, and constant distraction, that can feel like hell. Mystical traditions knew this. That's why, in Tibetan Tantric Buddhism, cannabis was sometimes used, but only after years of purification, training, and meditative practice. It was considered a shortcut, but one with traps. You could bypass the mind, but if you hadn't disciplined it, what you'd meet on the other side would tear you apart. Because here's the real danger. The plant opens the door, but it doesn't tell you what's on the other side. Some find bliss, others madness. In the West, we treat cannabis like entertainment, But in the mystery schools of Egypt, it was considered part of the green path, a plant that could awaken the Ka, vital essence, or destabilize it entirely. It was burned with blue lotus in secret rituals to unlock visionary states, not on weekends, not on couches, but under the stars, in silence, under spiritual supervision. So here's the question no one wants to ask. What if cannabis is a spiritual intelligence, not just a compound? What if the plant itself has memory, intention, resonance? Many shamans in the Amazon believe this. They say the spirit of cannabis is not passive. It tests you. It doesn't help you chill. It measures you. If your soul is ready, it guides you. If you're not, it deceives you. This is why you can smoke the same joint as someone else and have completely different experiences. It's not the weed, it's you. So now you know why. Some people spiral into overthinking. Others feel watched or haunted. Some lose motivation, drive, purpose. Others awaken to deep spiritual truths. Because the plant only reflects what you bring to it. If you come in prepared, open, humble, it reveals. If you come in scattered, lost, numb, it consumes. Let me leave you with this. Cannabis is not the enemy. Your unpreparedness is.